without any spelling mistakes, and without any non-ending paragraphs and things like that, actually, right? So
one of the things is that people should understand that when the resumes comes on board, the guy who is going to look at the resume is going to have about a couple of minutes to screen through the resume. And most of the time what happens is, at least this is what I've seen in freshers, the resume is pretty standard. You have your name, your personal profiles, followed by your marks, and second thing is your hobbies and references. In those kind of things, it's a plain boring resume, right? At the end of the day, you don't see any differentiation out of that. One of the things I would say is that the resume should be a great initial selling tool, and for that you should create it more like a portfolio, which basically captures some of the highlights and some of your strengths, rather than as just a chronological documentation of what you have studied till now and what marks you have got. Because definitely marks are, like I've told you previously, marks are going to be the primary criteria for some companies to set an entry barrier. But few things which I have appreciated, and I see very few of those kind of resumes, but those attract me very largely, basically because it shows that the guy has put in some innovative thought processes in that, is to showcase the kind of projects you have done, kind of specific interest activities you have done. Have you done something with social service, something on your sports? What is different? The idea for me is that I would spend more time on resume from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. If I see that in the first glance, I see that there is something different in that compared to the general pool I get in. And in that way, if somebody is structuring the resume, those guys have a higher chances of getting through the barrier than a general chronological data of facts.
I think write a good resume. It's a very difficult art, because most of the resumes that we see, they say we will be professional enough, it will be a mutual win for the company and myself, I'll do this, I'll do that. I don't think anybody can promise that much on day one or the first minute. I think what we need to look at is what exactly are the skills that person possesses at that point in time. It can be a one pager, in fact, need not be a whole dossier, because at that point in time you're coming out of college. What are the things you have done? And don't limit yourself to the academics. If you have done anything else, that's all right. Put it on the paper. You never know who's looking for what. In fact, your life skills are equally important, if not more, than your academics. Because I remember once we were talking in a group, this was long ago, 10, 15 years ago, I guess, I forget, but we asked some person as to what other extra skills he possessed. And this was not an interview, this was more of a peer talk that we were having. And that person said, oh, I swim. So my friend laughed and said, everybody swims, so what's the big deal about it? So he said, no, I swam in the heats for Olympics. So we were like, okay, great, just put it on the paper, I'm sure somebody's going to notice it. So coming back to the point, what I'm trying to say is, don't feel that all I have to showcase is my 80%, 70% or whatever the marks that I've scored in a subject. It's more important that along with that, what else have you done? If you have done anything, that's all right, put it on paper. If you have not done, that's fine, go with it, don't limit yourself. And that's what the resume.
We tell them, so when you write a resume for a student, for that matter, there is not much of things to write. It's almost similar. Only things what he can write separately or differently is the project what he's done or the certifications what he's done. So I said, why don't you write your name? For example, let us take my name as a student, Abhijit Srinivas, cloud certified. Don't you think it will catch the eyes of the recruiter? Definitely. So there has to be changes which these students has to make in their resumes, because that kind of resumes will stand apart, and that will fetch some kind of response from the recruiters. That's one thing. We have gone one step ahead, and we have created something called a program called EMC Academic Associate. This is a test which is given to these students after they are taking these courses, and and it is very strictly followed. All the rules and regulations are strictly followed, and once they pass, we give them this particular title called EMC Academic Associate, which means that in that particular subject he is been, I will not use the word certified because certification is completely different something. I will say he is assessed what is his understanding about the whole subject, and then we allow them to use even the EMC logo on their resume. We are telling them, go and tell that, no, I am certified by or I am assessed by EMC Square for this particular subject. So we also put them across to a pool of people, professionals. We call it as proven professionals. We also allow them to go and interact with them, take advice, take guidance for their project. The way of resumes it used to be has changed, and it has to change.
To sort of rephrase, the resume should necessarily capture what you have done beyond your college.
Exactly,
right? That's
exactly.
pretty much what is important now, and not what you have done while at college.
Yes.
Right. So your certifications, your projects, your internships, your hackathons, these are the things that actually would make a person stand out in a crowd.
Exactly, exactly. In this huge number of people who is coming for jobs, I mean, you need to stand out, and these are